Are you guys ready to get out of the matrix?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Piss Off Parent Show. I jumped on here real briefly. Let me turn this off and move some other things around here, messing with that new technology. So, having to kind of help them along. But wanted to come on here just for a few seconds today, doing some research. And I actually came across this website called uptoparents.org. And its website is had other groups associated with it. And I made some initial, first blush comments, and I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong on something. But let me back it up here and kind of talk about Pissed Off Parent, just for those that have no idea who it is, why this guy's on here. Basically, I host a show periodically that helps people, usually in the area of equal shared parenting, child support, divorce, custody, and all that fun stuff, providing information. You can find a lot of free, actually all free, helpful information, at least I think so, on the pissedoffparent.com page. Again, all free. Please like, share, do all that fun stuff with it. Learn something, and hopefully it'll help you in your case, dealing with whatever you're dealing with parenting and all the associated issues. But the reason I came on today, again, everyone kind of knows that I've don't get on near as often. I don't make a lot of new content, but I came across something here that I put out there, and then I also said, hey, you know what? Let's. I looked at it a little bit closer, and again, it's this site here. Let me pull it up, and I'll just show you kind of my initial Facebook blushing comment that I made about it. And it basically is Pissed Off Parent on the Facebook page. It's a free parenting certification class at the uptoparents.org. And I put in my comments, yes, before the comments start rolling in, this is stupid. That's the comments I'm going to eat here in a bit. But for the folks that are dealing with the anti-family courts, this could be just one more piece of paper that proves you're a good parent and one less reason a judge can use to deny you. I'm not going to offer any thing about why I said what I said. I mean, I'm guilty as the next person about making crass judgments and just, saying things off the cuff. I like to think that I learn and try to have a reasoned approach, and I'm guilty as the next person. But I was wrong on this. Let me take you to the actual site real quick. Let me pull this back up. And the site itself, and without getting too far ahead of myself, it's a site that at the end of it offers you a certification that I thought was just some piece of paper and whatever. I took the class and I've taken them before when I got divorced first time, divorced like 10 years ago, over a decade ago now. I went in there with full gusto, which I'm hoping a lot of the other parents did as well. Like, what can I do to best foot forward, remove any roadblocks or challenges that judges, attorneys, and the whole mess is going to have against me? Because I'm a guy, I'm a dad. We all know 95% in Texas, dads don't get primary custody. And I wanted to do everything I could because I was in the fight for my life. I'm hoping that anyone watching live or later or on the website, actually, this is streaming live on my website as well. But I'm hoping that anyone watching has that same desire and they're wanting to do the exact same thing that I did when I was going through this. I was scared. I didn't want to lose my kids. All kinds of things were happening, and I was trying to do everything I could to make sure I came out, or make sure my kids were the winners in the end. So I took a parenting class offered through our local whatever. Obviously, it was a moneymaker. It was stupid. Asked questions, do you know how to change diapers and stuff that I'm hoping every parent knows how to do. It was a dumb class. This is a little different, and I kind of want to offer a different slant to it. But when you go to the website, as it says here, are you a parent who's separated, divorced, never married? Again, that's I think attributing to like 30. I think we're at 25 to 30% of all children are born now out of wedlock in the United States. I think it's actually more in other countries. I mean, I think there's a map on the website that talks about which state or how countries line up with married versus unmarried, but kind of not part of this. And as I dug into this a little bit further, it actually offered additional resources, and it's actually a well thought out website. I'm not going to give a lot of it away because I think as I went through it, again, being through this thing a whole decade, the questions that it asked and the way it handled it, it really put it in, it made you think about a few things. And again, I'm a decade out. My youngest son is 17, getting ready to age out of the system. And, there were certain things that, had I had this website, maybe I could have approached a few things a little differently. Just kind of all depends. And I think it's important enough just to bring it out there. And this may be something that no matter where you are in your journey, you can look at. Actually, in one area, it talks about parents that are thinking about getting divorced or having issues, and basically keeping the focus on children and making them which they should be. They should be the most important part of this process, and it makes you think. I'll kind of skip ahead here because again, it's an 8-part series from what I remember. I just took this morning, but I'm old, so I don't remember stuff the way I used to. But it's like an 8-part series, various videos. And one of the things it does offer, and it has 3 different tracks you can go down. One is the divorcing. 2 is like a parent. Well, ultimately, they're all going to lead you to a parenting plan. It does talk about if there is physical abuse or things in that family, how to handle that. And it's out of Indiana. The people that were doing the video out of Indiana had a professor or had a psychologist, and they actually a retired judge. And again, we can all say the reasons for doing it or whatever, but the things he talked about at a high level, it resonated with me, and I hope it would resonate with anyone that decides to take a look at the course. But it has the kind of the 8-part series. You're listening to children talk about their perspective, and a lot of times we want to think that we understand our kids' perspective, but this kind of gave different information or a different way to look at it. And then it talked through different ways that you can work with parents, the parents that agree to co-parent, the ones that absolutely refuse to not co-parent with you, and the jerks. Those 2 are kind of the same, but it gave you some tools to look at, and it's something to where if you're and again, hindsight is always 2020, and I can't say it would have worked even a decade later, but I'm one of those, let's put everything we can into this, and whatever happens. But this would be something where you could actually share it with the other parent, and it may resonate with them. It may be that person is like, I hate you, I don't want anything to do with you, and I'm gonna do whatever I can. And sharing this information with them, the link, sharing it with them may give them reason to go, you know what? I hate your guts. I wish you'd get run over by a truck, but we have kids. And even though I have been using them as a tool against you, maybe it's time for me to think about things differently. It may work. It may not. This is just another quiver in the old toolbox. Or I'm mixing metaphors. I'm that guy. I'm mixing metaphors now. But you go through here and you would click on to start new use, and then if you're on it and then you have to jump off, come back on, you can come back and go back through there. But it goes through all these different things, and it's actually a credit. Now we all know about the Bar Association, and then family courts and all, and it's one of those. I understand why you're a little suspect. I am too. I mean, I had my snarky comments at the beginning, and as I started going through it, but then I started going, you know what? Even if the reasons they have this are complete garbage, at the end of it, there is that certification process. And I thought it was gonna be some stupid paper or whatever. It's actually, they break it down and it's a worldwide thing. Let me click to, oh, I double clicked that part. So when you get down to the end, shows I actually completed it. You can actually do your certificate of completion. I'll show you how in depth it gets here in a second, and then you can actually print your workout, and it funnels you down, hopefully both of you down to a parenting plan. On the pissedoffparent.com website, I have a section about people that are getting ready to divorce or break up and things that they wish they would have done or wish they would have done differently. Some of the things talked about in here, there's a section, in my website, talking about the parenting plan piece of it. And this is a way to get you guys thinking about how to set your parenting plan up and hopefully coming to an agreement on how things are going to work, on paper, which then of course translates into the courts. It just, I don't know, it just really did I don't know, it makes you think at the end of the day. And then, it had stuff in here about your commitments, your exercise responses, and it asks you a bunch of questions and does a bunch of stuff there. It had multiple pages of questions and just things to get you thinking. And a lot of this is like, right now, you guys hate each other's guts. Maybe when the other parent and you are sitting there going through it, you could go, you know what? I'm being a jerk. I didn't think about this. I didn't think about, like, when the kid turns 16 and gets a car, who's going to pay the insurance, or when Aunt Mary passes away, and it's not my time. Do I get to go to, can I have the kids go with me to the funeral? That type of stuff to look at, things to think about. And that's what I'm hoping everyone's going to do is, hey, you know what? Your guys' relationship didn't work out. It sucks. I wish there's even a section there about grieving the finality of your divorce / breakup / separation. It talks about that and how you do, and what some ideas and things you should be doing and things that you shouldn't be doing. It also has resources, court-appointed resources, which I believe, I didn't go into that specific area because it does branch out quite a bit, but there may be some free resources or low-cost resources available to you for counseling, in the sense that you guys can come together and make a parenting plan. And it does say, and again, this is from a judge, bar association, you name it, but it does talk about lowering costs, and maybe that's something that hopefully would resonate with the other parent. Like, hey, we can fight about our Beanie Babies all day long, and fight about do our kids wear jeans or shorts, or all that nonsense that raises those billable hours, or we can get down to business, get this thing done, move on with our lives. It's yet another tool that hopefully that can be used to get the end result that everybody wants. But anyway, that offers that. So I actually went ahead and put my, I guess, full transparency here. This is the certificate, and it actually breaks it down worldwide. Let me let's see if it will do. Yeah, so I can put in my name of your court, and I didn't I don't remember all that stuff, but you could put in the name of the court that you're in, the case of the cause number, and then before this screen, when you get to it, it will tell you your state, province, wherever in the world you are. So it gets that detailed, and then you can actually print this out and submit it to the courts as used completed. It's apparently it's honored by these different courts. So it's a free alternative that can be used to say, hey, look, I've done a parenting class. I tried to do co-parenting with my ex-partner, and okay, worst case, he or she refused to do it with me. Again, we all know how the courts work, but if there's a chance, if you're sitting around on your thumbs going, I don't know what to do, I can't figure out how to do this, this is a tool you can use to at least do something. And I'll talk to the guys because, well, I'm a guy. We don't like sitting around with our thumbs up our butt. Well, most of us don't like sitting around with our thumbs up our butt, and we want to be doing something. As long as we're active and we're moving towards a goal, we at least feel that we're accomplishing something. this could be an additional tool, and it'd be great to have. What if, when the judge or the attorney asks you, well, Mr. Ward, have you taken a parenting class? You can say, well, yes, Your Honor, yes, I did. Here you go. Oh, and by the way, here's my certificate. I did offer it to my ex, Susan here, to have her do it with me. She refused, or have your attorney say it, or however you're doing it. But these are, you take, and that's just one aspect of it. Two is there are some things in here that I can probably guarantee you didn't think of. I mean, I'm not a smart guy. I've been out of this thing for 10 years. And there's stuff in there that I was like, oh God, I wish I would have known that when I first took it. And that's even after all the other research I've done. There's like, oh, okay. I got some ideas I'm going to actually be updating the website on to make the website a little bit better. And actually, it's one of those, I hate plugging the website. Not really, but I love plugging the website because there's just a lot of good information out there. I would, really tell everybody that's going through any breakup, divorce, separation, even if you're already there, through all the sections, there's a lot of good information out there. But here at the bottom, there it is. I'm not a fan of Tableau. Actually, my blog has some good stuff on it. But at the very bottom here, a lot of stuff on here. There's a preparing for divorce breakup section, and on here it's got stuff you can read and go through, and the guide itself that kind of gives you. And then again, this is not an exhaustive list. I'd like to make it exhaustive, which would actually mean getting participation in other people, because I'm only one person. There's only so much that my world, my little cloister of a world, the information I have to work with. Other people have other experiences that hopefully other people could benefit from, which is, one way that you can help out is submit your ideas for, different things in here, or something you want to learn about. I mean, I can research this stuff, but I do have a section here, Divorce Custody Settlement Guide, talks about that. Of course, I always plug the list. Be sure to read the list. Regress after signing a custody agreement. Different things there that people, have said, or that I found through research, and then things I wish I knew before I got divorced or custody, whichever that is, and a growing list of items there to think about. One of the ones that a lot of people go, oh crap, is the one I use, which was the kids turned 16. You get divorced and they're 2 or 3. You're not thinking when they're 16 and getting ready to drive, who's going to take care of insurance, who's going to buy the car, whose car is the car going to be titled in, how's that going to work? These are things that you should get out of the way now, so you're not back in court spending thousands of dollars fighting over that. You get it all ironed out in one fell swoop, and no, your attorneys won't tell you this. But anyway, this the site here, the free online course, the Up to Parents, and there's a bunch of other stuff. I mean, if you go to the For Parents part, you can actually watch some of the videos that were the ones that you take for the class. But it breaks out a lot of stuff here, and again, it's focusing on putting the child first. That's the big thing, and where to put your energies, who you're going to have cigarette seatbelts and separation. I mean, there's just a lot of good information on here that you may think that you already know, but you don't know. And some of this may be, I mean, if you're all are far enough along or have been doing this for decades or years or whatever, you may be in there. Oh, there's even a section here, I didn't read this, interested in saving your marriage. It's just another tool that you guys can use to hopefully get the outcome that you're hoping that you get. And that was, I mean, pretty much I put it in the, you know what, let me, oh boy, this software is something else. I was hoping it'd let me put it in and it would actually do an update to everything, but it does not, unfortunately. One of the things I need to get them to update, but that was pretty much the gist of my, live that I want to do. Is kind of excited about this. And also, I'm a full disclosure. When I make a mistake, I own up to it, whatever thing. And when I did that Facebook update on the Pissed Off Parent Facebook page, I said this is a waste of time. It's stupid, whatever. Not really before going into it. And I can admit that I'm wrong. And I was wrong. It has some good information. And I'd recommend, parents that are going through this or getting ready to, or in the middle of it or after it, take a look at it. I mean, get a certificate. I mean, worst case, get a certificate. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Actually, I got a comment here from Brenda. Brian would love to have you as a guest on our virtual. Yeah, Dad matters too. Tell you what, I will reach out to y'all. I don't mind doing guest appearances and hoping, Hope I make it a fun one. We'll see. It'll be your highest rated one. But anyway, well, the way the software worked, I didn't have any of my exit stuff for any of that. So I'm going to just go ahead and end her out now. I don't, see any additional questions. Hopefully this is a tool that y'all end up using. And outside of that, be sure to go to the website, Facebook page, all that stuff. Check it out. And, learn if you have questions. A lot of them are answered in there. A lot of them, repeat, get to the Dad Talk Today support group. A lot of free stuff there. Or actually it's all free, and you got people that are going through it that can hopefully offer you advice. Again, we're a huge community. We need to help each other, and that's kind of all I got to say about that. As what's his name? I can't remember his name now from the movie Forrest Gump. As Forrest Gump would say. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good. Let's say